Welcome to another chapter of SystemVerilog, and in this chapter we are discussing about SystemVerilog function. So I have already created function video in Verilog. So do we need this video? Absolutely we need these videos because in SVA there is oops concept. So because of this oops concept, all the things like function tasks are modified to use oops concept in SystemVerilog. So in classes we used dynamic memory. Okay, so we need dynamic type of functions. So in our SystemVerilog we have two types of function. One is automatic, one another is static. So automatic you can understand with dynamic. Okay, this is dynamic. Okay. So a function that does not consume simulation time. This is the same as our Verilog, that function will not consume any time. Return a single value. It returns values as well as expressions and may or may not take arguments. So before it is compulsory to have some arguments like input output something. Now we don't need, because in some classes we are using functions which doesn't need any arguments. So this is one thing changed. Now what does this automatic function and static functions are? So let's understand with example. For example, we are using our static function. Okay, so in module, in program rock, or with a static entity, if you declared function inside those, it is automatically static. Okay, the function is automatically static in these things. So for example, if you are using in module, let's say any module are there, and we have used some function, let's say int, function of int we have used as counting, count as a function, and end function. Okay, and here is our variable int count plus plus, and we are returning the count. So whenever this function will run, a number of times you will call this function, your output will be 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so it will increase number of times you will call this function. But what if we don't need this 1 2 3 4 5? Okay, we need a one number of time it should call 1 1 1 1. So what we will do, we will just write, we will erase these things, we will write automatic int and function name count. So this will be your output. Okay, so in this way you have two types of functions. Now one has a dynamic memory, one has our static memory. Now what does dynamic function I am referring to? So for example, if you have declared function in class, so class has dynamic memory. Okay, class has dynamic memory, so inside the class function will be of dynamic memory. Okay, so whatever you have declared inside the class, it will be automatically dynamic. So you don't need to write automatic there, but you can write automatic. Okay, now in module you want to use automatic keyword for making this function automatic. In class you need static keyword for writing function in static memory. So you are writing like function static. Okay, function static will be there, and int and count. So now this function inside your class will be of static. So these two keywords are there, static and automatic. Now what if I only need variable as a static and not as a not a whole function as a dynamic or static? Okay, so you can also write this static keyword for int. Okay, static int count. So you don't need anything, you just declare the normal function which will be of dynamic nature, and your count will be count plus plus. Okay, this is another method. So this static and automatic you can write for variables. Okay, You can write for variables as well as you can write for functions. So these two, I think you have understand that why we need static and automatic function. Rest of the thing will be same as our function, okay, but only these two things are added, and another thing is added inside our function is that void variable, pass by value and pass by reference. So I will cover this in next video, but before that we will also understand some theory part. So by default function declared are statics. Obviously it is static, but it depends also in which scope you are declaring the function. Okay, if module or static entity, then it will be static. If it is dynamic entity, then dynamic. Okay, so are declared inside a class scope or except class scope. Okay, if function declared within the class scope, they behave as an automatic, which I have already told you. By default, unless they are specifically mentioned as static, which I have already told you, I have given you an example. Now all variables declared in static function are static variables unless they are specifically mentioned. So I have already told you we can declare a variable as well as static as well as automatic. Now all variables declared in automatic function are automatic and static function are static, but you can write static and automatic keyword for changing that. Now we will see example of code. Okay,
hit subscribe, like and comment now. Let's begin the journey of verification.
Now let's see, this is a function. Okay, increment function, we have three variables a, b, c, and here b is automatic, c is normal, means it will be static. Okay, and count a is static, we have declared. So we will first see the function increment static, first one. Okay, so see, this will increment, this will increment, and this will remain same because this b is only automatic, because static function this will be automatically static and this will be static because we have declared static. Now in automatic function, int c will be automatic and b will be automatic, a will be incrementing. So now a will be increment and b and c will be same. Okay, now another combination is there where nothing is declared inside the module, means it is static. This will be static, this will be static, and this will be automatic. See, this will be automatic, this will be automatic, c, and b will be automatic, and a and c will be static. Okay, so in this way you can understand the function automatic and static, and in next video I will cover pass by value and pass by difference.
Please Lord give me a sign, a sign.